Yo, okay. Let's just get this out of the way. I was definitely too harsh on my Uzi EP review. I gave it a 5.5. I don't think it's a 5.5. I would give it potentially a 6.5 because it did have two absolute bangers. One of them, For Fun, we've discussed, is the song of the year thus far. That's undeniable. That song is crazy. Amazing. I listened to it on repeat the day that it dropped like 10, 15 times. I wasn't listening to anything else. Also, I liked I Know, aka not Space Cadet. What is it? Neck on Froze. But I just think that while we reacted to it, it's truly a reaction because I see the chat and like I like to play devil's advocate whenever I talk to anybody. So when people are like hyping shit up, I'm like, yo, it ain't that good, which almost like brings me down further past the quality of what I actually think it is. So even though I think now listening to it again on the plane here, I'm in DC right now, I'd say it's like a 6.5. But like, because everybody was saying like 9, 10, I was like, yo, chill. Let's bring it down to 5. It was a 5. What are you talking about? And I got a little bit angry because people were, I don't know, shitting on me for not thinking that it was the most amazing shit ever. Like some of y'all are right now. Like, it's not an 8, bro. It's not an 8 at all. Because half of these songs sound like throwaways. Final Fantasy, overhyped as shit. Believe Me, trash song. I'm not gonna get over that. Believe Me is not good. What else? Flex Up, Wheelchair. That was a good song, but again, it sounds like a throwaway. Like just something about, you know, the auto-tune is something like it's catchy, but it's not the greatest. So that song will probably be like a 7 in itself. So right now we got like 2 bangers, and then we got Believe Me. It was not good, so that brings it down to say like a 8.5 already. Hitting My Shoulder was cool. I liked the hype, Uzi rapping and shit, so that's solid. Space Cadet, it was all right. Final Fantasy, that was the same quality as like Space Cadet. Final Fantasy was like a bit repetitive, just too long of a song for what it actually was. Some of these were just snippets, and I don't know, he had to turn it into like a whole ass orchestra symphony. Glock in My Purse, not a great song. Very elementary, especially for Uzi. But again, throwaway. So it's not like I'm hating on songs that he took. He recorded them in like 2017 or whenever he did. So there's a reason he didn't release them at the time, because he didn't think that they were good enough quality to release on the projects he was working on at the time. Cigarette, the new song is good, so I'm actually, maybe that the Cigarette one of one that we just listened to will bring it up to maybe like a 7.5. But then It's a Hit, not very good again. That's like a 5 song. So you know what, I'll give it a 7.5. I think it's still a W that Uzi's dropping, but I still don't necessarily think that it proves that Uzi's back. Because if Uzi recorded all of these songs recently, which only 2 of them were, actually 3, Space Cadet, Final Fantasy, and one of one, dropping 3 songs that weren't even the best songs on the tape pretty much proves, for someone who's trying to make this argument, which I am not, that Uzi passed his prime. Now, if he dropped 3 new songs that we had never heard snippets of, we knew were new songs, and they were better than For Fun and all of the other songs that were recorded a long time ago, then everyone would be like, oh shit, Uzi's back. But right now, I just feel like the narrative is people want Uzi to come back and like be at the same level he was once before. So like that's the narrative on Twitter and shit. I just don't think that it has the necessary proof behind it yet. It's not 2018, it's not 2017 anymore. I gotta be, yeah. I don't think Uzi's falling off at all. I still think Pink Tape is going to sell like 200K, 175K maybe. And he might be saving the new songs for Pink Tape. He just wanted to give the fans the SoundCloud exclusives, which ended up being on all DSPs. Believe Me didn't end up. So that's just a SoundCloud hit, because the sample clearance issues or whatever. But then he dropped One of One, which is crazy. I like that song a lot. Whiny Tugboat still thinks it's a 6. So at least I don't think that we're going to be listening to many of these songs for the, after the next couple weeks. And that's kind of what I base my opinions on. Like, am I going to add this to my playlist? For fun? Yes. Final Fantasy? No. Believe me? No. Space Cadet? Maybe. If he's past his prime, he's falling off. That's it. Well, I don't think being past your prime doesn't necessarily mean you're falling off. I understand your logic. It's like if you're not growing, you're degenerating. It's kind of like you're going up and now your trajectory's down, so you're falling off. But no, I think that falling off is like you can hit little like bumps in the road. Maybe he is on a slow trajectory down, but falling off is like the cliff. Like when you fucking fall off. He's just strolling down the hill. You know what I mean? And it might be a long hill. Flex Up was all right. It was cool. I think it's like a 7.5 song. Give it time. It will grow on you. Doubtful. I think the only reason that people were hyping it up, and I was too at the beginning, is because it was older Uzi. But you got to realize, again, this wasn't even the highest quality old songs that he had. He had better old songs. So if you compare these songs to the shit that he dropped, you're going to be like, this is trash. Or these are definitely throwaways. And that's okay. It can still be good music, but that's the comparison you have to draw. And so you can't say that it's an 8 or 9 out of 10 album if you say that. Sales don't matter if the quality is mid. I agree. We're not even talking about sales right now. Hate on Believe Me is crazy. Believe Me is not a good song. It's like so backwards. The vocals are just don't match the beat. Hold up, let me go to his SoundCloud. Let's see what the worst songs are on the tape, as in the songs that are the least popular. So the worst two, objectively, are It's a Hit and Glock in My Purse. Actually, look, Believe Me is the third least listened to. Final Fantasy usually at the beginning of the album has the highest views or streams because people like fall off or have to go do something once they're listening to an album and they have to stop halfway through, right? So the first couple songs are gonna get the most, especially because he dropped these before. So the fact that Believe Me has less streams than Final Fantasy should tell you that Believe Me is not that great of a song, objectively speaking. Like, you can like it, but the overall public doesn't like it as much as Final Fantasy. And I don't think Final Fantasy was even as great as For Fun. I think in the next couple of weeks, For Fun is going to start riding up, killing everybody. In fact, Hitting My Shoulder released, a day or two before the rest of the songs on here, and For Fun is already creeping up on it. I think For Fun just might beat out all of these except for like I Know and maybe Flex Up. It's all about numbers, people. And Skrilla, I know, that's what I'm saying. No one really gonna be talking about this tape. It's all shit that's been done before except for Fun. I can't get over how good that song is.